So great having you here, Joe. It's
Thank you for having me.
opportunity to talk about what's happening in the industry. You are, of course, president and head of networks and technology in Verizon.
Yes, honored to be so.
Yeah, and we've had a long-standing partnership in terms of evolving networks and creating new value for your customers. And I think we're really happy with how we can partner up on those things.
Absolutely.
Now the industry is really busy, not just with rolling out 5G and doing it across the world, but monetization of 5G.
Yeah.
We put in place basic technologies like network slicing, exposure, also handling more time-critical services for XR or perhaps Gen AI. So can you tell us a little bit about Verizon's strategy when it comes to monetization?
Yeah, so as you said, we've had a great partnership of putting leading technology into the hands of customers. And we pride ourselves at Verizon for having the best, most reliable, highest performing networks in the world. And we do that in great partnership with Ericsson, so thank you. And in this 5G era, it's nothing different. Our strategy is to continue to put new technology in the hand of customers, both enterprises and consumers, and with additional spectrum and with new 5G capabilities, like you just mentioned, slicing and other things, there's real opportunity. And I tell people all the time that we're a few years into this journey, and I think far too often we get the question, when is 5G going to be real? But it is certainly real already. We see already a ton of use cases where you can do things you never could do before on a 4G network in 5G. The two that I like to give as examples are, number one, fixed wireless access. So we now have over 3 million customers in the United States who get their broadband service from us over our mobile network. And that gives choice. It gives great reliability and performance where customers maybe didn't have that choice before. So that's one. And then the other is with our ultra-wideband network, and that's a combination of our C-band spectrum and our millimeter wave spectrum. We're now giving customers, both enterprise and consumer, the ability to do throughput, capacity, and latency on the network in 5G that we couldn't in 4G as well. So we're allowing customers to use the network in different ways, both video, enterprise use cases, et cetera, that they've never been able to use before. But we're now starting to embark on some of the 5G advanced features, as you just mentioned. Standalone core enables some of that, network slicing. We're starting to see more and more use cases where edge computing. And if you may recall, we launched our mobile edge compute platform almost 5 years ago now. We were probably a little ahead of our time back then, but we're talking to more and more partners around where can AI and more latency-sensitive applications exist on the edge of our network, powered by the 5G ultra-wideband capacity and throughput, really changed the dynamics of how people consume our 5G network. So I think there's a lot of upside in front of us and a lot of good stuff.
Well, that's an exciting future. And as you pointed out, fixed wireless access is true success by metrics such as subscriber growth, but also great user experience. A lot of flexibility for consumers to adopt the service, but also that the networks are really there to support. What is it? 20 times the data rates or the consumption on a broadband subscription versus a smartphone. I mean, that's something that the network can handle.
Absolutely.
You already touched upon the importance of the edge, and you were early in that, but also how it connects maybe to AI or Gen AI supported by an edge infrastructure. Is there a network connection there, or how do you see the opportunities in that space?
Yeah, at Verizon, we view AI in really 3 categories that we're pursuing. The first is applied AI. So where can I, for customer experience, employee experience, optimizing the network, making capital investment decisions, understanding the customer experience at a level that maybe the human brain couldn't understand, where can we leverage AI in all those spaces? So we have a ton of work going on to apply AI within the business across all those different use cases I just mentioned across Verizon. So that's the first category. The second category is where can we embed AI into our existing products and services to make them better, more user-friendly, more targeted for both enterprises and consumers. And then the third, which is probably the furthest away, but it's where can the network create new products that AI will enable. And as we just talked about, when you talk about mobile edge computing or low latency, high throughput now capabilities of our 5G network, we think that unlocks new device form factors, new use cases that can leverage these AI capabilities and inferencing as we walk around in the wild, as enterprises use our network in different ways as well. So we think there's a real opportunity in that third bucket that we're pursuing and partnering with lots of different companies on as well.
And I think that's, whether it's with partnering or own activities, really looking forward to those new form factors. We see a few of those coming online, looking at maybe your glasses or my glasses.
Yeah, right.
Are they XR and AR, AI enabled? But of course they will be. And I think that will require the offload to the edge and capabilities such as inference, but also really advanced digital twinning or cyber-physical representations on the network side will really be powered by that edge infrastructure.
Yeah, and as our two companies are working on, is making the network more and more programmable for developers. That's the name of the game. We want to be able to give developers more and more capabilities that they can leverage in the, like I said, use cases of ultra wideband or high throughput or low latency or end-to-end experiences. I think that unlocks all sorts of things. So even though I am not wearing my Meta Ray-Ban glasses right now,
today,
I do love them. But also they're today limited to some extent, right? They're tethered to a phone. And I think the capabilities we're talking about, which edge computing, ultra wideband capabilities, I think form factors can start to become untethered to certain things like Wi-Fi or other devices because we can put smaller form factors through RedCap and we can find ways to maybe move that compute to the edge of the network instead of always having it on the device.
Exciting time, Joe. And
for sure.
Big thanks for the partnership, of course, and also for the short chat here about what lies ahead.
My pleasure.
Big
Thank you.